Hey Burnout Crew, and welcome back to the Burnout Block. Today is going to be a little bit different. We're going to kind of do just a vlog, a regular vlog, to catch you guys up on what's been going on recently. So I just got back from 2 weeks of vacation. Left the state for a little bit, went to North Carolina, to the Outer Banks for a week. Then I went to Tybee Island in Georgia for a week. So I've been gone for a little while. That's why it's been 2 to 3 weeks since the intake install video came out. To catch you guys up, basically when I had the videos ready for the channel, I recorded our first video sooner than the prior videos. So what I did was I recorded the first video, but I had recorded the intake install video and the introduction of the G6. Those two videos I recorded like 2 months ago. So I had videos made before our first video. So that's why, like, in the thumbnail of our introduction to the G6, you see the stock wheels on there, because that was a thumbnail I made before I started the channel. So today is kind of going to be catching you guys up to what the car is like right now. I know I said in the intake video that we'd be hitting the track to see how the intake helps the car. I did end up going to the track that next day, and I did make an episode about it, but it was super busy that day. I only got 2 runs in. I did beat my personal best by I think 3/10 of a second, which is, you know, an improvement, but I've done a lot more to the car since that video. This video is kind of going to be catching you guys up on what all it has on it. So I'll go ahead and walk you guys around the car. So you can see, it does have wheels on it. It did have all 4 silver MSR wheels on it, but one of them turned out to have a leak, so I had to take 2 of those off on the front. Currently on the front I have NKs from a Mitsubishi Evo 10. These are the stock NK wheels. So the fronts are 18 by 8.5, I think. And they're Michelin Pilot Sport AS3 Pluses. They are 255s. It's a little bit wider than stock 225. And then the silver MSR wheels on the back, I think, are 18 by 8s. And those have Federal SS 595 tires, 225s. So smaller in the rear, a little wider on the front. Everything's still stock on the front. I did actually get a scratch between the last video here on my front bumper. My dad was moving a lawn chair and smacked my car, and it kind of made me mad, but it's whatever. I'll buff it out. So yeah, over here you can really see how wide those front tires are compared to the stock ones. They grip really well. I did have my driver's side mirror broke last week, or no, not last week, right before I left for vacation. Randomly the little spring mechanism in here just snapped out. I did actually replace my passenger side this past year. So if you look, all of this plastic here does match, but if you go around to the driver's side, this is all faded and does not match at all. So I'm actually excited that mirror broke, because they can finally have matching colored mirrors. Aside from that, exterior wise, nothing's really different. I did put on the K&N sticker there, like I talked about in the video. I have put on my Power Stop Street Performance brakes they have. They're drilled slotted rotors with carbon ceramic brake pads, and I replaced the calipers on all 4 corners, so my handbrake actually works now. So you got the same in the rear. I really like the red and silver. I think it looks really good on the car. Gives it more of an aggressive appearance. I do plan on, after the mirror, I would really like to get headlights or taillights, but I don't know when I'll get around to that. That'll probably be a little bit further down the line. My rust spot here on the back corner has gotten worse. It's coming through the paint now, so I'm gonna have to take this to the body shop soon. Get this repaired and painted over, so that way it's not rusting through. Other than that, not much else on the outside. I do have my exhaust parts in. I will be replacing part of the exhaust to try to make it a little bit louder. I'll go ahead and show you guys what those look like. So the first part is going to be replacing the rear muffler with a 12-inch cherry bomb glass pack. This is just one I got off Amazon. I did my research. I know this is kind of ricey, but I did my research with a bunch of different exhaust setups for G6s, and the one that I found that didn't sound horrible used this glass pack and just a different exhaust tip, and that's all the guy had done. So hopefully when I install this, it doesn't sound bad. I'm kind of worried because it is kind of a cheap setup. If it doesn't sound good, I might just put the stock muffler back on. So I'll have to talk to the exhaust shop that I'm going through if they can keep my muffler and give it back to me just in case. This is going to be the exhaust tip I'll be running. It's a DC Racing Sports exhaust tip, 3.75 exit, so it'll look a little bit better. It's just like a matte black, which I think will look really good with the black paint. I'm hoping to put different wheels on the car soon that are hopefully going to be black wheels to kind of make the whole car kind of match, just like a black and red theme. I think this exhaust tip's going to look really good. I really like the quality of it. I think it was only like $35 or $40, which I get for an exhaust tip's a little bit, but I mean, I really like the quality of it. I think it's gonna look good. I held it up next to the car and I think it's gonna look really good on it. But I know you guys saw the thumbnail. You guys are probably wondering what the big surprise is, and I'm about to show you guys. You guys are really gonna like the surprise. I've been so excited ever since I found out about this. I've been wanting to make a video about it. We got another project car. We got another project car. So not only will we have the G6 as a project car, but this other car that I'm about to reveal to you guys is gonna be our second build on the channel. I'm so excited. And this car is manual, so I'm finally learning how to drive stick shift. I took it out already. It's so much fun to drive this car. I really am excited to have this car on the channel as well. So I'll go ahead and get the G6 out of the way, and then we'll be revealing what the new project car is. Okay, so I got really excited getting ready to show you guys the project car, and I completely forgot that I did engine mods to the G6. So really quick, I'll show you guys what I've done so far. Not too much. Obviously you guys saw the intake install video, so you know that that's in there already. But I figured I'll show you guys the one other thing that I did in here. Trying to open my hood with one hand. So we did one other part install after the intake that really helped dial in the suspension and the way that the car handles. So you guys know I have Eibach lowering springs on the car, which lowered the center of gravity, makes it turn a lot easier. But I also got this. I got obviously the intake, but I got a Megan Racing strut mount sway bar, which really stiffened up the suspension, really stiffened up the way that the car moved. I think it looks really good in the engine bay. I think that even though it is chrome, it gives it a more sportier appearance. You guys can see the nice Megan Racing logo right there. So I just want to show you guys that real quick. We're about to go reveal the new project car for the channel, so stick around and we'll get right to that. That's right, we bought a 1999 Mitsubishi Eclipse GS. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a 1999 Mitsubishi Eclipse GS. It's a 5-speed manual, and it comes with a crap ton of parts from the last owner. I'm really excited about this build. I plan on building the Fast and Furious Eclipse that Paul Walker drove in the first movie with this car. I've already found a lot of the parts. I just need to order them. I have a whole list of parts to build the green Eclipse from Fast and Furious, but I'll go ahead and walk you guys around the car, and then after that I'll show you what parts came with the car, because we've got a whole tote and some parts laying back there from the previous owner that we're going to install. I'll walk you guys around what it already has on. I'll show you some of the flaws that this car has. So I'll go ahead and walk you guys around the car. This car does have some features that came with it from the previous owner. It also has some flaws that we'll have to work out. Just like any project car, it has some things wrong with it. It does run and drive, but currently it does not run because we took the belts off. We had our AC belt slash power steering belt come off while we were driving the other day when I was learning how to drive stick. And obviously it's hard to practice driving manual when you don't have power steering. So right now it's parked. It's only been parked for about a day or so. Exterior wise, this car is bone stock. You know, it's got the stock wheels, stock brakes. I think the previous owner did put LED headlights and yellow fog lights, but other than that, not a lot cosmetically on the outside. The body surprisingly is pretty clean, other than a few dings here and there. There's not a lot of rust. I mean, there's a little bit of like chipping around the gas door here, but other than that, I mean, it's still got, you know, it's a hatch. It's still got all the stickers, or badges I should say, on there. It does have an aftermarket exhaust. We don't know what brand yet, but it is an aftermarket exhaust. From the catalytic converter all the way back to the exhaust tip is an aftermarket exhaust. So when we got the car, it had like a kind of like a sun stripe right here, like a banner that went all the way across that was just black, which made it really hard to see out of the car. So we did take that off. That's like quote unquote something we've done to the car, but not really anything yet. We are working out a problem with the driver's side door right now, so it's all apart. The motor for the window doesn't work at all, so the driver's side window doesn't go down. So currently me and my dad are figuring out that problem, which is why the door is all torn apart. It did come with a Sparco steering wheel with a Mitsubishi carbon fiber horn button in the center to kind of match everything. Obviously the Sparco short hub for the steering wheel. It has like some accent lighting in here, like blue neons on each side, which I thought was weird. I'll probably take those out. Aftermarket stereo, Tomei shift knob. It does look like he put Sony aftermarket speakers in it, but we don't really know because while the speakers are there, he didn't really wire them up correctly at all, so they don't really work. Go ahead and pop the hood real quick. So yeah, we don't really know why the speakers don't work, if he didn't wire them up correctly or not. I'll go ahead and show you guys under the hood real quick. So here's what it looks like under the hood. He's got a aftermarket cold air intake on. I don't know what brand. It looks kind of cheap, but it's an intake nonetheless. Obviously it's a 99, so it's a 22-year-old car. It's got some rust. Like all the second gen Eclipses, it does have some strut tower rust through here that goes all the way through the wheel well. So we are going to get that replaced. It does have sway bars on the front and rear struts, so that's a plus. It handles really well, I'll give it that. But as you can guys see, belts are completely off here. It's very tight fit to try to get the belts back on, which is why we're trying to figure out how to do that. Very weird spot too. This is something we noticed. Very weird spot for the dipstick, in between the coolant hose and the exhaust manifold. We thought that was a very weird choice. It took us a while trying to find the dipstick because we're used to the little yellow ring. And we didn't think to look right next to the exhaust manifold because we're thinking, why would you put a dipstick for oil right next to a hot piece of metal and a hot piece of rubber hose? But I don't know. That's not really, you know, I'm not an engineer. I didn't obviously design this car. So this is the GS model, which means it comes with a 420A naturally aspirated 4-cylinder from the Neons. So it's not a 4G63, doesn't have a turbo, it's not the Evo motor, it's front wheel drive. Basically a base model, but that's perfectly fine by me. This is the model that they used in Fast and Furious. They used the 420A motor. It didn't have a turbo. They did use a 95 Eclipse, not 99, but I was fine using a different year, a little bit newer, so some of the flaws of the earlier generations are, you know, gone away with because it's a newer model. It still has the same engine, still a manual. I'll be able to put the same parts on. So honestly, altogether, not too bad of a base. We already found a guy who's going to fix the strut tower rust. It runs really good for having like 206,000 miles on it. The engine runs great. It does have a little bit of a misfire, which I'll have to look into still, but other than that, everything seems to be running right. It starts right up. Obviously it doesn't right now because the belts are off, but it starts right up when everything's back together. So I'm gonna go ahead and get our table out and lay out all the parts that came with the car, kind of show you guys what's gonna be put on the next couple weeks. We're gonna be making a list of things we need to fix, a list of all the parts that we got with the car, kind of figure out a game plan of what we're gonna do with it. And then obviously we're still gonna be modding my G6 over there. So having 2 active projects on the channel is gonna be really fun. Like I was saying in the intake install video, that was just the first step of that car. So going through and figuring out what's wrong with this is going to be the first step for this car. So I'm glad that I could get this as a senior gift for my dad. I wanted to give him a shout out really quick. Thank you, Dad, for getting me this. I know it's just like 1,500 bucks. You spend more on that on gym equipment, so it's not a big deal, but I am very thankful. I've been wanting an Eclipse for a long time, and having a project car that I can work on with you is going to be a lot of fun. So with that, we're going to get the table out and lay some of the parts out, and we'll cut straight to that. Okay guys, so we're here in the barn. We got the table set up with all the parts on it. So obviously when we got the car, there was some stuff done already. So we did not get the stock exhaust with the car, which is fine. I know that exhaust that's on there now is going to be fine. We did, however, get the factory steering wheel. We got, obviously we've got the door panel out right now, trying to fix the window motor. Half of the sunroof is missing. Not the sunroof itself, but the little sliding cover, like the sunshade. Half of it's out. Which I don't know how that happened. We've got the stock intake box and tubing, which I don't really plan on showing you guys that as stock parts. Nobody really cares. What I'm here to show you guys is the tote of crap that we got with this car that I have no clue what's in here. We got a couple other aftermarket parts with it. So for 1,500 bucks, we got a running driving Eclipse with parts, like aftermarket parts already. That's probably another 1,000 bucks. So I'll go ahead and go through some of the main items with you guys. So we'll start off over here on my right. We've got some lowering springs. I don't know what brand these are. We've got all 4 corners. I really don't know much about the parts that came with this car. I'm not even for sure if that is a Sparco steering wheel that is in the car. I just assumed because it has a Sparco hub adapter. But yeah, we've got all 4 lowering springs in here. Like I said, I don't know what brand. I don't know when he got them, the last owner. I don't know when he got them. And the thing about them is that the car is already very low. Even from factory, it's a very low car. It's even shorter than the G6, which is lowered already. And that's one of the things I had to adjust to when I was practicing driving the car the other day. It's a very small car. I did not realize how small those cars are, but I do fit in it, which is good. Next part we have here, we have some rear disc brakes. It looks like it only comes with 2 rear brakes. I don't know why. He did not have any front brakes to include with it. I'm guessing this is also just the rear brake. They're not drilled or slotted. I don't know why he just has rear brakes, not front brakes. Usually they come together as a kit, but oh well, it's free parts. I know you guys are eyeing these, so we're gonna go ahead and look at these. It did come with a new set of headers, as well as a downpipe. So these are the nice, shiny, new headers that we're gonna be putting on the car. They are obviously the independent tube setup that all run down to where the downpipe will attach to. I think these are gonna look really good. I think it's gonna liven up the old worn out engine bay. I think these are really gonna liven up the engine bay. I think that the old exhaust manifold is definitely worn out and rusty. I think these are gonna look really good. Gasket also comes with this as well, with the nuts and bolts to put that together. and get out the downpipe for you guys. Now the one thing I find interesting is this does not have a catalytic converter on it. Don't know if the stock one does or not. I know it still has a catalytic converter on the car, but I don't know if it's attached to the stock downpipe. This is just tubing from the, it looks like these match up together, kind of together like that. This is just regular tubing with a flex pipe in the center. Basically, this is gonna let the exhaust move while the car is in motion. That way it's not a solid piece of metal. So I'm really excited to put these on. I think this is all gonna look good together. It'll finish up the aftermarket exhaust. So basically from the headers all the way to the exhaust tip is gonna be completely aftermarket. Hopefully these will make the exhaust sound a little bit better. Right now the exhaust sounds kind of ricey. I think that's because of the stock headers and the misfire, making it sound really gross and raspy. So hopefully when all these parts go on, it doesn't sound like that anymore. But if it does, we'll just live with it. I don't think it'll be worth buying a whole new exhaust when we just put on a new exhaust. So I'll go ahead and get these out of the way, and I'll get the parts out of the box for you guys. Okay, so we got all the parts out. A lot of it looks like stock parts or worn out or replaced parts, but I'll just go through a couple things that we have. So apparently it comes with a whole nother head. I think you guys can see that. It comes with a whole nother head, which is at the bottom of the box. I didn't know that. I don't know which head that is. I don't know if it's aftermarket. I don't know if it's a stock one. It looks to be the stock one because it looks used. It looks worn out, but I don't know if the head on this motor was ever replaced. This might be a different one he planned on replacing, so I don't know. I'll have to message him and figure out what head this is. Most of this stuff's not exciting. We've got like some brake caliper hardware for the brake pads, and it also comes with a box of brake pads. I don't know if these are new or not. I'm guessing they're new. I'm guessing they go with the rotors that we got for the rear. Let me open these up and see if they're new or not. Yeah, so these are brand new. So I'm guessing these all go to the rear caliper to go with the new rotors, which I don't think it came with a new caliper. So I'm guessing just pads and hardware and rotors, which I think is interesting. So we do have a new fuel filter here, which is nice. It's from EcoGuard. Never heard of the brand, but it is a new fuel filter, so we might get around to installing that at some point. I guess it's good to have. I'm sure we'll do a fuel system clean out with some seafoam and stuff like that, because I don't know. The car was sitting for a year before we bought it. The last owner only drove it 500 miles. Looks like it does come with a oil filter. Don't know if this is used or not. I'm guessing it's not. Seems to be the theme. Yeah, so it comes with an oil filter. It's just a Fram oil filter, so it's nothing special, but got a new oil filter for the next time we do an oil change, which will probably be in the next couple days. But we've not done an oil change on this yet, and I don't think he did one before he sold it to us. Do a oil change. So we've got a spare door handle here. I don't know if one of them's like worn out or not. I haven't seen either the driver's side or passenger side be worn out, but this is a brand new door handle. So maybe he replaced one and not the other. I don't know. I haven't looked over the car that thoroughly yet. That might be the case. One of them might be replaced, and one of them, obviously this one hasn't been put on yet. So I'll have to look over the car again. That might be the case. Other than that, just some gaskets. Looks like we got head gaskets, stuff like that. Don't really know why. Don't really know if he was just being extra cautious and going ahead and buying the parts. I don't know if he planned on replacing them. I don't really know much about this whole ordeal here with the parts. But basically that's all that came with the car. Really, the headers and downpipe are what I'm excited about. But yeah, I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm definitely excited to put this car into our garage of project cars that we have now. I plan on getting some kind of new daily driver that is a performance daily driver sometime this fall. I plan on taking the G6 back to KillCare to make a video about it sometime in the next couple weeks. Work's been really busy, obviously coming back from vacation. We're gonna try to make content, at least one video a week is what I'm hoping, like I said in the intake video. Obviously that didn't apply the last couple of weeks because I was on vacation. But we will be going to a couple car shows. We plan on attending Formula Drift competition in Erie, Pennsylvania, coming up this July, which is this coming month. Obviously we'll have videos about the Eclipse coming out. I'll probably make a video about putting on the headers and the downpipe. I'll probably make a run-through video of what all's going on with the car once I get a list made of what it needs. I'll make another video about the G6 when we get the exhaust on it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are excited to see what we do with these cars. Follow me on Instagram at devils.demonchild. Follow the Burnout Block at the Burnout Block on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.